Hi friends, you know me, Jackie Omi Zaleski McKenzie. I'm here in Ecuador on a 5-acre rented farm in this farmhouse. Summerland, as you know, was started in 1991 and incorporated in 1992. We have done lots of work for a lot of people. We've changed a lot of lives. And it's a really good feeling when my husband is now in a wheelchair, when he can go through the living room and see the picture of Resplendor and come out here on the patio and recognize that we've always grown things. Now we have huge gardens, huge gardens. Now we're still working on the soil, because this place was a yucca. It was just all in yucca, nothing but yucca. And yucca doesn't require very good soil. Yucca and bananas, that was it. Bananas are grass. So we've been working here for a little over a year now to replenish the soil. But the climate's perfect. We can grow year-round as long as we have water, and there's plenty of water. We have a canal right over here, and then we have the regular city water. The costs here are very reasonable. That's part of the reason we're here. We have a lifetime lease on this property. They're not going to change the cost of rent as long as we're here, and it's $500 a month. So it's very reasonable. Now you'd think that Summerland would be able to pay for that, but it can't, because we've never really made any money, because it was mostly our money that made it run. But as you know, when I lose my husband, which is more likely than me, there's about 6 months before the VA pays any money for the survivor. So it's going to be a very tough 6 months. And yet, the work I've done all these years, and the work that, of course, Don's helped me with, is very, very important to me. So I've made a tough decision. I have the YouTube channel. I've done 156 videos since January 21st of this year, 2026. Most of them, well, about half of them have been published. The rest haven't been published yet. I'm still making videos day after day to put up, and because I have so many things I want to say for my legacy. But Don and I have made a decision that my school, SKOOL, my caregiver school, Summerland Caregiver, SKOOL, will be free, continue to be a free program. I've started it that way, and I'm going to continue it that way for as long as I can, with a request that if someone feels like they've gotten something good out of it, to make a donation. That may or may not happen. We just don't know. I mean, people are so skeptical now. There's been so many scams and so much marketing and so much begging for donations. It's just incredible. But I'm having 1 day a week. There'll be a 1-hour meeting for parents or other caregivers of disabled children. 1 day a week, there'll be a 1-hour Zoom meeting for people who are caregivers of elderly people. 1 day a week for Zoom for 1 hour, there'll be caregivers of veterans, especially those with PTSD. And 1 day a week, there'll be an hour caregivers for those with addictions, especially the partners or caregivers of those with addictions. I'm also saving an hour on Saturday if people want a one-on-one. That's 5 days a week. Offering to be of service to people. I've been working with lifering.org, like the tube that you throw out from a boat to save somebody's life, LIFERANG.org. They have allowed me to work as a trauma recovery person, because trauma the pain of trauma very often turns into reaching for something. It could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be prescription medication, it could be weed, it could be any type of gambling, overeating, over shopping. I mean, there are so many different ways that people go to express a way to overcome the pain of a trauma. And I've been having incredibly good success. I thoroughly enjoy working with people. And those of you who know me know that that's what I've done for a lot of years. And my dream is I'm starting that today. Those Zoom meetings will start today. My dream is that those meetings will progress into something where at least there'll be a $10 or $15 donation from the group every time we meet. And now the groups I meet with on the weekends with LifeRing, there's usually about 15 to 20 people on those meetings. And I find that that's about right. And so if the meetings get bigger, I'll just split it into 2 meetings. As far as I'm concerned, they pump me up. They don't tear me down. So there's no reason not to have more meetings. But if the donation amount is more than the rent, that will go to the people who are here helping me today. I have 1 day a week, I have a woman helping me with the domestic chores and anything Don might need. 4 days a week, part of the day, he works 7 hours. I have 6.5 hours, actually. I have a young man who helps gardening, but also anything Don needs. And then 2 days a week, his grandfather comes with him and helps. And most employees make $20 a day. So it's very inexpensive, but the hope is, and it's been the hope since we started here, the reason we made these massive gardens, is that our neighbors here are economically marginalized. Most of them don't have much land. Some of them just have a yard, just like you would have in the United States with a conventional home. So they are very much economically marginalized. Most of the houses aren't finished. They have no siding. Some of them have no windows. People live in whatever circumstances life sends to them. That's the way it is here. So we know that the food would be appreciated, but I have to pay the workers. So if there's any left over, that's what the money will go to, is to pay the workers so that they can help me do the gardening. With 2 metal hips and really severe scoliosis, that's not really a part of my life anymore. I can still function pretty darn well in the kitchen and preserving and that sort of thing, making food for people, and I can do that. But the gardening is pretty tough. I can oversee it, but getting down and actually planting. I plant the baby plants. That's worked out pretty well. But and I can take you down there and show you what's going on if you'd like to see that. Let's just take a little walk here. Over here, well, there's Cornelio. He's coming right now to bring alfalfa. Ah, gracias. There's Juan. He's getting a ball. And that Grandpa is here, and Cornelio. He's feeding the chickens. The chickens are there. You can hear them. And one of the dogs is right here. There's the other dog. She's a girl. She's a rescue. And this little guy was raised by a local little teenager. There's some of the plants. These yellow wildflowers are just everywhere here. This is an orange tree. There's 2 fig trees. There's another, I'm sorry, that's lemon. The other one's orange. These are tomatoes and flowers all growing together. There's more wildflowers. The tree was here when we came. And the bananas we have lots and lots of bananas. I've got to stay close to the railing. You can see the railing. The railing goes all the way down to the main gate. Sorry, I'm not a very even walker. And these are the Mexican sunflowers. We planted all of those. Like I say, we've been here just 1 year, but we've made tremendous strides. Okay. Making our way. The gate that you see down the road, that's to keep the dogs in, because the second area is very often, there's cows. They bring cows there to eat all the grass that's there. We've planted all these bushes that you see along here, all the handrails and everything we put in, all the gates. And then over here, you can see there's a large garden over there going up to the hill. And then there's the circular garden here. The mandala garden that was taken from the drawings by Bill Molson. That's the mandala garden. And then on that hill over there, we have planted an enormous variety of local plants. All these small banana trees that you see, those have all been planted from babies that were offshoot by these bananas. These small plants down here in the front, that's curcumin or turmeric. We have just about everywhere there are marigolds growing because they keep a lot of the insects away. These are marigolds right here. And there's zinnias everywhere, and we've put in all the crotons and the bougainvilleas. My husband is nuts about bougainvilleas. And then right down there, that's also alfalfa. The alfalfa, you can eat it as a person, but we feed it mostly to the chickens. This is a screen room, and this is where I do work. You can see all the different plants in here that are growing, and some plants down here. That's mostly spinach and some cilantro. And of course, we built all of this since we've been here. And then this is the mandala garden that comes from the permaculture manual. We built it based on those guidelines. You can see more marigolds. There's lots and lots and lots of tomatoes. We eat a lot of tomatoes that we grow. There's a whole bunch of basil out there, parsley, spinach, lots of different squashes, and of course the corn. And the corn is really important to me because my grandfather used to grow corn in Livingston, Montana. And although I only saw him a couple of times, it just gives back the good memories of corn. This right here is a purple lettuce that we're letting go to seed so that we can get some more purple lettuce. And we have massive, massive amounts of arugula. There's just, arugula grows beautifully here. Now up on the hills up there, we've put in quite a few citrus trees, mulberry trees, mora berries, I'm trying to remember what else. We've also got, you can see the bananas right over the top of the screen room. There's bananas growing there. We've also got several mango trees here and several avocado trees that are growing. And then there's a number of trees like this one right in front of me, just beyond the handrail that's around this mandala circle. That's a native tree, and I think it's called a nip. I'm not sure. But we have planted a lot of trees that I have no idea what they are, because they're local trees and they're local food. It's just the whole mountain area up here, the whole raised area is a food forest. So this gives us an opportunity to have food for, and you can see off in the distance, up high, there's some nice big homes, but down along the road, where it's mostly covered by the trees that are in the way, are very poor people. They live with very little, and so the idea is that we want to provide food for them. And what I just need is, we've got the water. You may be able to see some of the sprinklers. There's a sprinkler right over here. There's a sprinkler back on the roof over there. There's 4 more right through there. There's sprinklers all through the new gardens. And that's one reason I'm doing this now, because he hasn't turned them on yet this morning. And we've brought in all of this rocks for the driveway and for all inside the garden for the walkway. What we're trying to do here, of course, is to make it a food forest. And we're growing trees for shade and food for someone that's going to live beyond me, that's for sure. So that's the story. I would like it if you would send people to my YouTube and to my school, SKOOL, for caregivers, because I like working with people. I'm only away from this farm about 3 hours a week, because I taking care of Don. And he's away usually about 2.5 hours a week when he goes to have lunch with a friend. Other than that, this is where we are. And that puts me online where I can help people as a clergy should. And that's what I want to continue. I don't want to give up my ministry. I just don't. And so if you can remember who I am and tell people that I'm not a phony, not a scammer, not terribly interested in anything other than being a part of other people's lives and doing what I can to make whatever pain they're feeling or have felt a little less. And so, thank you. Never thirst. And please subscribe to my YouTube. And please become a member of my school. You don't have to do anything. It doesn't cost anything but a minute of your time and a push of your finger. Thank you.